Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jeanelle Slade.
And I'm Jay Cohn. Well, tonight the world on the edge of its seat as two presidents shake hands in their first summit.
And while President Trump announces U.S.-Russia relations are improving, other U.S. leaders call the summit disastrous and even treasonous.
Tonight, the president returned to the United States following a whirlwind European trip that culminated with his summit today with Russian leader Vladimir Putin.
CBS's Mola Lenghi reports from the White House.
President Trump wrapped up a 6-day visit to Europe with a stop in Finland on Monday, where he met with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The summit began with the two leaders talking behind closed doors for more than 2 hours, joined only by their translators.
Getting along with Russia is a good thing, not a bad thing.
Later, at a joint news conference, Mr. Trump was asked about Russia's alleged meddling in the 2016 election.
I will tell you that President Putin was extremely strong and powerful in his denial today.
Putin did admit that he was pulling for Mr. Trump to win.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Because he talked about bringing the U.S.-Russia relationship back to normal.
The president also condemned the investigation led by special counsel Robert Mueller, saying it was bad for the country and an obstacle to better relations with Moscow.
Here in Washington, the response to those statements was nearly unanimously critical, with many Republicans leading the way in condemning them.
Senator John McCain called it one of the most disgraceful performances by an American president in memory. Senator Lindsey Graham said Putin would view it as a sign of weakness. House Speaker Paul Ryan said the president must appreciate that Russia is not our ally. And Newt Gingrich called it the most serious mistake of his presidency. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer expressed dismay.
A single ominous question now hangs over the White House. What could possibly cause President Trump to put the interests of Russia over those of the United States?
Schumer wants to summon the president's national security team to Capitol Hill to explain the administration's stance towards Russia. Mola Lenghi, CBS News, the White House.
In a tweet sent after that summit, President Trump wrote that when it comes to Russia, in order to build a brighter future, we cannot exclusively focus on the past.
Among those questioning Trump's statements, Republican Montana Senator Steve Daines. He tells us, quote, "I have the highest confidence in the men and women in our intelligence communities and their conclusive evidence regarding Russia's deliberate efforts to interfere in our elections. Russia is our adversary and must be held accountable for its aggressions in Eastern Europe, the Middle East, and around the world."
Montana Senior Senator John Tester also weighing in, quote, "America's top law enforcement and intelligence agencies agree that Russia is a hostile nation that has targeted America, threatened our democracy, and undermined our national security." Tester says our country must hold Putin accountable, not hold his hand.
And Congressman Greg Gianforte says Russia has promoted instability throughout the world. He says Russia is not our ally. American intelligence agencies have been clear Russia has interfered and continues to interfere in our elections, and we must defend ourselves and counteract whatever they do, as President Trump promised in March.
New information tonight on Vice President Mike Pence's visit to Billings next week. Pence will be joined by Senate candidate Matt Rosendale for a rally in support of the recently passed tax cuts.
Now, the event will take place Tuesday, July 24th at 9:30 in the morning at the Montana Pavilion at Metro Park. Doors are slated to open at 7:30 a.m. The conservative group America First Policies is sponsoring the event and is in charge of tickets.
Those who want to attend must register and request tickets at americafirstpolicies.org. The vice president also will host a private fundraiser for Matt Rosendale later on Tuesday. Renovation plans for Billings Logan Airport spelled out in detail tonight at the work session of the Billings City Council.
Q2's Zoe Zandora met with the city's aviation and transit director to hear more on what's in the works. Zoe.
Thanks, Jay and Jeanelle. The main focus is to update the airport. The concourse where we were standing in when I was talking with Kevin Plone, the director of aviation and transit for the city of Billings. He told me it was built back in 1970, so the upgrades are a good idea. The project is currently in the design phase, the first of 3. The current design isn't very conducive when it gets busy at the airport because it's designed as more of a pod structure, so when it's busy, it doesn't make it easy to maneuver. The goal is to design an expansion and add 3 more gates, making the total 8. Right now, they only have 5 gates. The first item of construction will be starting with the deli area and the expansion of the west end, allowing an expansion for concessions at the airport.
one of the things people like to do is be able to see where their gate is. So our new concept's more open so that you can be at the concession, still see your gate, and then when they start boarding, then you know, and that's when you finish that beer and get down to the gate. So we'll see if the contractor thinks it's workable, and then once that end is built, we'll move everybody over there. It's kind of like a Chinese fire drill. And then we'll build this end. Pretty exciting deal. I think it's going to be a great add to the city of Billings. People, you know, we serve a large regional area, all of eastern Montana, northern Wyoming, and then, you know, the Billings population. And, you know, people come here, they want, what we're truly trying to do with this new piece is to make it so when they come here, they know where they are at in Billings.
I know everyone is really interested in a timeline right now. It's just the beginning of the design process. Ann Plone told me it's projected to probably go until next summer and says it's a complicated project. And the main construction, when the ball starts rolling, will begin probably late next summer and is projected to hopefully be finished by 2021. Jay and Jeanelle.
All right, thank you, Zoe.
On to the weather scene, Bob. We know storms are moving our way. And even though that can mean rain, it can also mean fires.
Yeah, that's always a problem. Of course, you remember we had a very wet winter, had a very wet spring. Now things are starting to dry out, and we have one chance for some showers tomorrow. And that's going to be it for a while. Let me show you our Montana fire danger map. And we will notice here that we're starting to see things dry out, especially up in the northwest corner of the state by Kalispell. That's going to high to very high fire danger. Around Butte, the same thing, all the way up to Shelby, high fire danger there. Even here in Yellowstone County and into Bighorn County, we have high to very high fire danger. Now, everywhere else, we've still had some pretty good wet weather, and we're still looking at low to moderate fire danger. But I tell you what, it is getting to be very dry, maybe another week of this stuff, and we're probably going to see the entire state turn into a tinderbox. We'll have more on your forecast in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Bob.
Well, speaking of fire, it was a year ago this week near Missoula when the Lolo Peak fire started in a lightning strike. It then continued to burn for months.
The wildfire burned about 54,000 acres and took the life of one firefighter, Brent Witham, when he was hit by a falling tree. More than 3,000 people were evacuated at some point during the Lolo Peak fire. It wasn't until September 24th that firefighters were able to halt those flames. The fire ended up with a nearly $35 million price tag.
Meanwhile, a deadly wildfire now burning near Yosemite National Park. It's already scorched more than 9,000 acres. One firefighter's been killed, and the smoke is severely impacting the park. The Ferguson fire started Friday and is scorching through steep and rugged terrain. The
one firefighter that died was creating a fire line at a ridgetop. His bulldozer rolled down into a canyon. Officials say the fire is about 2% contained.
The Indian Relay Races Championship of Champions has come to an end, at least its run in Billings. The reason? Well, the Metro track here no longer a viable location for the races. That's the word from Horse Nation's Indian Relay Council President Calvin Ghostbear. He says this year, after months of searching, the races did find a new home in Walla Walla, Washington. Dates for this year's Championship of Champions is now set for near the end of September, the 21st through the 23rd. This year's relay season got started back in May in Gillette, Wyoming.
Billings School District 2 welcomes its new superintendent to the job. Greg Upham took his seat at tonight's school board meeting for the first time. Upham comes to Billings from the Helena School District, where he served as assistant superintendent. He replaces Superintendent Terry Bauk, who retired after 6 years in Billings. We'll talk with Superintendent Upham tomorrow to hear what his thoughts and goals for Billings are following his first board meeting.
Still to come on tonight's 10 o'clock news. We're going to float through some of the stories of the past of Lake Elmo. Check it out coming up in our Q2 Rewind series.
Plus, Build-A-Bear last week. Today, another epic fail in retail. We'll show you what went wrong on Amazon Prime Day.
And in sports tonight, All-Star Football making its final appearance of the summer. It happens this weekend. Scott has details on your East-West Shrine game that'll be televised live here on Q2.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Jeanelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Breen. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana.